Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Good Eats 420. In today's video, I got a good one for you. Today, we're going to be doing the unboxing and setup of the CLOUDFORGE T7 humidifier from AC Infinity. Now, 2 years ago, I did an unboxing and setup of this very humidifier, but since then, they've done an update to it, and I need a humidifier for the grow that I'm doing right now, so I figured I would unbox and set up the new updated T7. How to set it up is pretty much the same, but the thing that's going to be different is I'm going to show you guys how to set it up using the wireless transmitters. Now, I didn't even know that AC Infinity had wireless transmitters, but they do, which basically means you don't have to plug in a cord into the UIS port and then plug it into the controller. They're wireless, so you can plug in one side of it into whatever device you're using, in this case, the humidifier. The other side is going to be plugged in to the controller. They're not connected by a wire, it's wireless, so it's going to make it way more convenient for me. Now, before we get into today's video, as always, I do want to remind you, if you're thinking about getting any AC Infinity products, you can use the code BASSDROPKEYS. That will save you 10% off any order at acinfinity.com. Also, if you want any of the Athena nutrients, you can find those on acinfinity.com. You guys know that I'm an auto pot grower. I love auto pots. If you want to get any auto pots for yourself, use the code BASSDROPKEYS. That'll save you 10% off any order at autopotusa.com. But okay, we got all that out of the way. Let's go ahead and go over to the grow room. We're going to unbox and set up the CLOUDFORGE T7 plant humidifier from AC Infinity. I'm going to show you how to set it up using the wireless transmitters. Here we go. All right, guys, so before we unbox it, let's go over the prices real quick. So for the CLOUDFORGE T7, it's going to be $169. And for the wireless transmitters, it's $39.99. Don't forget, once again, use the code BASSDROPKEYS and you get 10% off. Now let's go ahead and do the unboxing and set it up. All right, guys, so what you're looking at right now is the box for the CLOUDFORGE T7. You can see that I have it on the table right here in front of the tent, and I'm going to open it up and take everything out. The only thing that you really need to know about this step is whenever you take it out, there's going to be one hose that's on the outside of the humidifier. You can see I'm taking it out right here. That's the long hose that you can bend. And then all the other components is going to be inside the humidifier. So if you're looking for outside of it and you're like, hey, there's nothing else in this box, you'll see once you open up the humidifier that all the rest of the components is actually inside of it. So now whenever you get all the components out of the humidifier, there are a couple of things that I want you guys to take note of. The first thing that I want you guys to take note of is the refill water here section. So you're going to notice that there's different parts of the humidifier. You want to make sure that you pour your water in the correct spot whenever you're filling up your humidifier. As you can see here, they have a part that says refill water here. That's where you want to put your water at. Now on the opposite side, you can see right here where it says route your hose so that it slopes upward. You want to make sure that you do that. Otherwise, water's going to puddle inside of the hose and then fall back inside the humidifier. And that's not what you want. Also, on the hose itself, the one that bends, they put a sticker on here just to remind you. So if you look at the sticker, it says, make sure the hoses slope upwards when routing to your grow tent. This will prevent condensation from building up in the hose, as well as water dripping out and creating a puddle. So you can see they have a card on the hose showing you the correct way to do it. And then if we flip it over, you can see that they show you how not to do it as well. So it's very important that you guys actually do this if you're going to be using this particular hose, because you don't want that condensation forming inside of your hose. It's going to fall back in, make a big mess, a big puddle, and we don't want that. And the last thing that I want you guys to pay attention to right now is at the bottom of the humidifier, you can see right here where it has that white foam on the bottom right here. Make sure that you remove that and throw it away, because if you don't do that, obviously it's not going to work right. So make sure that piece of foam that you see right there on the white valve, take it off and throw it away. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. There's one more sticker that you guys need to pay attention to. If you look in the middle of the humidifier, you're going to see this sticker right here. it says do not pour water into the central pipe. We talked about that a second ago. You want to refill it exactly where it tells you to refill it at. Do not pour water in the middle thinking that you're refilling it faster, because you're just going to mess up your humidifier. But now that you know all the things that you need to look for, let's go ahead and set it up. So what I'm showing you right here is the UIS wireless transmitters that I was talking about in the intro. I didn't even know that AC Infinity had these available. The reason I like these so much is you don't have to have a cord attached to the controller and to your device. You guys remember, well, if you're old enough to remember a landline, whenever we got rid of the cords and you had wireless phones where you're able to move around, it's just a lot more convenient. Same thing with the tent. These wireless transmitters work with all the AC Infinity products. So it doesn't matter if it's a fan or a dehumidifier or a humidifier or a light or whatever it is. You guys know AC Infinities have a lot of components. If it is UIS compatible, all you have to do is take the short end and you're going to plug it into the device itself. You're going to notice that there's a shorter one and a longer one. If you get them mixed up, just look on the transmitters and make sure they have the same number. If they do, the short one you're going to put inside whatever device you're using. So this is the humidifier. You can see that I'm plugging it in right here. Then I'm going to go to the controller, and the long portion of it, you're going to plug it in into one of the ports. Once you do that, just go on your phone on the app, and you're going to see where you can actually read it now, and you can control everything inside the app. Just like with all the other AC Infinity products, you can have a VPD or humidity trigger, which is what I'm going to do, which means basically around this time, I want my humidity to be in between like 60 and 80 will be just fine. You guys know seedlings love high humidity. Whenever I start my seeds, I use the humidity domes, but then once they pop out of the medium for a couple of days, I take the domes off, and then I use my whole tent as a humidity dome. In order to do that, I need a humidifier to be inside the tent, or you don't have to put this inside the tent. You can actually put it outside the tent as well and, put a pipe in there. But the way that I like to do it is I like to just have the humidifier inside the tent. It's just easier for me. And so now that we got the transmitter hooked up, the last thing that I need to do is we need to plug in the sensor. And you can see here on the front of the machine where you plug it up. And then obviously you want to have the sensor hanging inside of your tent. That way the humidifier knows what the RH is. And then once I do that, I just put it inside the tent where I want it, which is right here on the side. I'm going to put some water in the top part. Once again, you know where you need to put the water at now. Don't put it in the middle section. Put it where they told you to put it at. Once I have it filled up, put it back on the base and plug it in. And now I'm going to use my app in order to turn it on and make sure that it works. So if you look at the footage right here, you can see that it is working. You can see that it's blowing a whole bunch right there. And so whenever you took out the rest of the components out of the humidifier, you're going to get, well, I already showed you that bent hose. You also get a straight hose and an attachment on top that you can either angle it one way, or you can put on this other attachment and you can have your vapor going in different directions, which is pretty cool. And so setting up the humidifier is super easy. Just take out all the components, plug in your transmitter, plug in your sensor, then plug the humidifier up itself. Once you do that, check on the app. You're going to see that it's right there and you're able to control everything. Set it where you want to set it at and basically forget it. That's how easy it is to unbox and set up the CLOUDFORGE T7 humidifier. Pretty simple. Now, obviously, once we go further in the grow, I'll be able to give you guys more information about the T7. I just started using it. Everything is just fine right now. If anything comes up or if I notice, something that I think you should be aware of, I definitely will tell you in the next videos. But for today, that's where we're going to leave it. We unboxed the humidifier, we set it up, I showed you how to do everything. If I forgot to cover something, make sure you ask me in the comments section. Don't forget to come follow me on Instagram at bassdropkeys.yfnn. That Instagram is my personal Instagram, so it's not like a cannabis Instagram or something like that. I do music, you guys know I do a lot of stuff. Everything that I do is on that Instagram, but if you want to follow me, come follow me at bassdropkeys.yfnn. I want to thank AC Infinity, Autopot, and Athena for making me their brand ambassador. I appreciate them. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. And until I see you guys the next time, I'm out, guys. Much love.
I like my girl soft and sweet, and my weed loud and sour. If you having all the money, then you having all the power. A couple words whisper to her, make her wet like thunder showers. Then I work her like a job that getting paid out by the hour. Sweet and sour, sweet and sour. If you having all the money, then you having all the power. All the flour got me living in the penthouse of the tower. I like my girl soft and sweet, and my weed loud and sour. Yeah, I like my girl soft, sugar on the lips. And my weed loud, yes, they when I twist. Country boy swag, but I'm up in the mix. Made it out the mud, now I'm marble on the brick. Pocket full of blue, yeah, the bankroll tower. When you got the cash, you control the power. Smoke so strong, got the whole room clouded. Penthouse view, yeah, the city look proud of me. Sweet like honey when she call my name. Sour diesel got me higher than a plane. I been on the grind, I ain't never been the same. Turn a couple packs into a whole new lane. Whispers in the ear, got it stuck like glue. Bossed up quick, yeah, I did what I do. Money talk loud, or the folks stay mute. Now I'm being real good, steak on life. My girl soft and sweet, and my weed loud and sour. If you having all the money, then you having all the power. A couple words whisper to her, make her wet like thunder showers. Then I work her like a job that getting paid out by the hour. Sweet and sour, sweet and sour. If you having all the money, then you having all the power. All this flour got me living in the penthouse of the town. I like my girl soft and sweet, and my weed loud and sour. From the trap to the top, yeah, the story too real. So much loud, had to upgrade the deal. Now it's been how living, glad with the steel. Every day hustle, yeah, to pay for my meal. Girl want sweet, but my smoke stay sour. When life come fair, when you stack them hours. If you got the bread, then you got that clout. Sweet and sour vibe, yeah, that's what I'm about. Sweet talk smooth, yeah, she love how I slide. Sour in the bag, got the whole room fried. Came from the block, now luxury ride. Penthouse night with the stars outside. Money made move, yeah, it opened them doors. Went from a zip to a whole lot more. Now my life sound like a rich encore. Sweet and sour drink got me up. My girl soft and sweet, and my weed loud and sour. If you having all the money, then you having all the power. A couple words whisper to her, make her wet like thunder showers. Then I work her like a job that's getting paid out by the hour. Sweet and sour, sweet and sour. If you having all the money, then you having all the power. All this flour got me living in the penthouse of the town. I like my girl soft and sweet, and my weed loud and sour.